my lifestyle. It's my lifestyle.
One of the big ones, I'm gonna start with the Matt Olson trade. Okay. There was a lot of conversation. We're gonna get to Freddie Freeman, but there was a lot of conversation on whether Freeman was coming back to the Braves, and he has not. They traded for Matt Olson from the A's. They sent 4 prospects. Shea Langoliers is a big one, catcher from Baylor. Okay, him, Christian Pache, who had some big league experience already, good center fielder. Ryan Cusick, pitcher. Joey Estes, pitcher. For Matt Olson, 8 years. After they traded for Olsen, they gave him an extension of 8 years, 168. And I understand the thought process, and this is also a thing of the Braves have done this before. Jash is here. Jash is in the building. So I'm going to get you right into this. Your thoughts on the Braves bringing in Olsen and not re-signing Freeman?
Of course I come in and
just all the chaos right away.
Perfect. Are you pausing?
I didn't think you guys were recording.
No, you're not pausing?
No.
Word.
I didn't think you guys were recording.
No, it's all good. So
Freddie Freeman.
Matt Olson.
Yeah. I think that Freddie Freeman did a great job of kind of being honest to them and saying, guys, like, I'm just not coming back. So like letting them know like what his plan was. Listen, the Braves proved to us last year that like their signings worked out for them, right? Every guy that they signed on the trade deadline for their outfield was part of their World Series run. So listen, everybody is replaceable, right? Unfortunately, that's the business, and Freddie Freeman isn't replaceable in terms of like kind of what he did for the Braves franchise. But as a first baseman, lefty bat, Matt Olson's pretty damn good too. So I think it was a great job. I think it was a great job by the Braves. I think it was a very great job done by Freddie Freeman. I think it was one of like those like breakups that was done very well by both sides.
He gave them some warning. And it was good. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't have it on here, but I believe his contract is actually less than...
It's 6 years, 160. Oh, Olsen or Freddie Freeman?
Freeman's is less than Olsen's.
Freeman was 6 years, 162.
Right.
And Olsen, I think, was 180?
So I guess on a yearly, it's 8 years, 168.
8 years, yeah.
So, sure, they save a little bit of money. I understand the thought process, and Matt Olson's younger.
Yeah.
So that it's just the replacement, and it's a cycle. And it's not something the Braves haven't done before. They've let Tom Glavine go, Greg Maddux. Like, they just let them out when they're kind of getting older. So it's part of their process. And cool, they've got a replacement, and the Braves fans are upset. But
I think it honestly boils down to, like, again, like we're sitting here having a conversation, but you don't know the internal conversations they're having. I think it boils down to, like, what they said to Freddie Freeman, what do you want? And I think he probably was like, hey, like, I really appreciate the 15 years of this franchise. I won a World Series with you guys. But honestly, like, I want to go back home. And, like, I think we forget that these people are humans, too.
Yeah.
Like, and if that's what he wants and that's what he feels comfortable with in his next chapter of his life, like, that's like anything else, man. I think it's just a next chapter in his life that he was ready to go for. And you rarely see it. Tom Brady didn't finish with the Patriots, man.
Yep.
That's the end of the conversation.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely... I understand where everyone's like, tendencies to be a fan instead of understanding like the business.
Fans are irrational,
yes,
bro.
Absolutely,
Especially Yankee fans.
Yeah, perfect. That's our next thing. Yankees.
Yes.
Josh Donaldson.
Yes.
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa.
Yeah.
For Gio and Gary.
All right, so I'm just upset.
And you guys got some like other catchers.
We got a
too.
catcher. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm a little bit upset as a fan, but also as a fan of Gio because he's a BL guy. So I'm gonna miss Gio. But my thoughts on it are, I don't think they got much better. But I think that they got better in the sense they broke up the same team that hasn't been working. So, and
one of those big pieces being Gary, which caused a lot. And like
Gary
your catcher needs to be a leader.
Gary is a lot of the conversation.
Yeah.
And again, Yankee fans are just so irrational, being like, "Oh, like we actually believed in Gary, we love Gary." It's like, no, you guys been like, talking shit about him
as soon
for
as
years.
He's gone, it's like, oh wait, what do you mean?
What happened? Yeah.
Yep.
So like. And Gio isn't a shortstop. Gio's a third baseman. So they got a Gold Glove caliber shortstop who won the Gold Glove already in 2020.
Yep.
He hits 270, 280. And then they got Josh Donaldson, who, he's older. But at the same point, like, he also hits bombs. And, like, he's a guy that's going to be productive at the plate, especially in Yankee Stadium. So I like the trade. I think they got better. I told you, I've been telling people, you saw in our group chats with our friends.
Yep.
I don't care if the catcher hits freaking zero. As long as he's a great defensive catcher that can handle a staff, he's gonna win those games that way. So I don't care about his offense at all.
It's gonna be him and Higgy.
Yeah,
split
perfect.
Time. Yep,
perfect. They call a game. They feel comfortable with it. They can control a staff. Amazing. That's all that matters in that position. People don't understand, like, baseball is still baseball. Like, up the middle for your defense matters, right? Everyone's complaining about Glaber at short because that's up the middle position. He was terrible at short. Much better at second. Cool. Yep. So they got better at second because he's back there. They got better at short. They got better at catcher. And they're going to put a Gold Glove caliber kind of defender in center field with either Judge, Gallo, or Hicks. Like, great. I think it was a good move.
Yes, I agree. I think the energy that Josh Donaldson brings as a player is going to be good for you guys.
Yeah, and again, I think the only thing that isn't good about it, which I do agree with the Yankee fans on, is they didn't get any younger and athletic. They got older and slower. Mm-hmm. Like, their lineup's old.
Yep.
But, like, whatever. Like, I also, like we talked about it. Volpe's coming. Volpe is coming. And he's going to be potentially the number one overall prospect in baseball. Why would you sign a huge shortstop to block him coming up? That's the Yankee way of just buying players. Like, that's not what this is. It's about team chemistry.
Yep.
The Dodgers, did they win a World Series last year? No. Okay. Are the Dodgers going to win a World Series this year? It's not guaranteed. I don't care.
Even if
they're all-star. They're literally an all-star lineup.
They're
though.
disgusting. It's ridiculous.
But that doesn't win you championships.
Nope.
The Giants had 107 wins last year. I hope the Giants win the division. Not just because my dad's a Giant fan, but, like, they built a good
what the Giants
team.
did was against all norms of anything you would expect.
Who won the NBA championship last year? The Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah.
LeBron sucks with the Lakers right now. You can't just buy anything anymore.
Yep.
That's just not how sports work.
Mm-hmm. It's very interesting, the dynamic, and I love the move. I think that's what we were talking about, is what they needed at shortstop was something that's short term but a good quality piece.
Perfect.
And I loved it. Working down the list, Tatis broken wrist.
Yeah, that's right. Motorcycle
brutal.
accident too.
Yeah.
I mean, they had no choice but to, like, not, like, because they could have avoided his contract for that. That was like the Madison Bumgarner situation when he was riding a horse, or no, he was riding a bull or something.
Yeah, he was doing rodeos. Under a fake name.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine?
Imagine Tatis doing like same thing,
just sneaking around.
But yeah, I mean, listen, man. That's why Juan Soto is the best player in baseball, because he's a little bit more healthy, but, like, the biggest thing in sports is health. But, yeah, it's not good. The Padres have been having issues like this now for, like, 2 years. They haven't been, again, a team that's, quote-unquote, bought players and put together this mega team.
Yep.
Crashed last year. Tatis being out is going to hurt them a lot because he brings that flair, obviously, and he's a very, 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 very good ball player.
Yeah, he's out the first, like, three or so months, so that's not what you want from him. Moving along, Jesse Winker and Eugenio Suarez to the Mariners. Okay, and this I want to hit all the Reds at once because they just fire sale. Screw it, and I hate that so much. We talk about it a lot. The poverty owners, right? Like, the Reds are always like at least a semi-quality team. Obviously, great fan base. Like had solid teams before. And they had a pretty good core last year. Like, they were on the verge almost of being in the playoffs at the end.
Yeah.
And they're just kind of selling everybody off just to save cash for what? You know, they sent Winker and Suarez to the Mariners for some prospects that weren't even, like, top tier. Who else? They moved Sonny Gray, like, just all these big pieces. Like, what are we doing?
Sonny Gray was the Chase Petty deal, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which Chase Petty's, high quality prospect.
Yeah. It's literally like everything that they were just arguing about before the lockout about what was going to happen and what has literally happened to baseball since then. The Dodgers spent more money and teams dumped.
Yep.
Like, it's bad. It is so bad in that sense. It's fun to watch a shift, though, because, like, respect to the Mariners, because they're going to be damn good this year.
Absolutely.
And I hope they make the playoffs, and I hope they're a team I'm rooting for personally out in the American League. I just great pickups by them. They're going to be a very, very solid team this year. But great move on the Mariners part. Did you see the picture of Winker in the Mariners uniform?
No.
He just looks like he looks like he belongs there. In the Mariners.
That's what I thought they needed. One more, like, veteran outfield piece. I thought they were gonna get Conforto because he's like an Oregon guy. Like, they got an even better all-star lefty bat. So kudos to them.
Yeah, good shout out to the Mariners on that one. They diced them.
Yeah, and speaking of AL West, the A's moved Matt Chapman to the very strong Blue Jays.
Yeah. Now, okay, but here's the thing. Okay, I know you're giving me the Blue Jays face because they're in the Yankees division.
Listen.
But the Blue Jays, okay, I hope they do because they've done it right though too. Like they didn't go out and buy players. Like half their team is super homegrown with Vladdy and Bo Bichette and Biggio and bro, like I got nothing for the Blue Jays. Like because they lost what's his name? They lost
Robbie Ray.
They lost Robbie Ray.
But you know what? They added the lefty from Seattle.
Yep.
Whose name I always forget. They added Kevin Gausman, and all on like relatively affordable deals. They re-signed Barrios. Like they've just built a great team.
They built a great team.
And like you said, their core is homegrown.
They're going to be Dennis, I know, put a bet on them to win the World Series. So
yes, he did.
Did
you put $100?
I put 50 down on them to win the AL, and then I put 50 down for them to win the World Series at plus 1,200.
I might be riding his coattails on that because the Blue Jays are going to be the scariest team in the AL East by far.
Mm-hmm.
And the odds are only going to get worse. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll put that in today. Thanks, Dennis. But yeah, Blue Jays did a great job with that. And again, the A's, there's nothing to say about the A's because this is the same old A's.
Right. Which it was so upsetting to me. And like you said,
but they're gonna win 90 games this year.
Sure, they're gonna be
a
a solid team, but it's like they're always on the edge of like, hey, if you guys really kind of went in just a little bit more, you'd get over that hump and just start being like really good.
Yeah.
But
you know, what else I've been hearing though, they might trade Sean Manaea.
Yes,
to the Yanks.
To the Yanks, yep. I know they were talking about him and Montas, and Montas got traded to the Royals.
If they traded Sean Manaea to the Yanks, that would be the move that would put the Yankees offseason to like a good spot too. So
I'd be hyped. That'd be cool. Yeah, he's a really solid arm. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
You guys got Rizzo too?
Yeah, I was you weren't here, but Dennis and me and Tristan were going back and forth about Anthony Rizzo, and like Tristan, irrational Yankee fan, was like, if we don't sign Freddie Freeman, like this is a bust. Like Rizzo sucks. Like get Joey Votto. I'm like, what are you talking about, man?
Listen, the way the Reds were trending, it made sense.
Listen, like Rizzo he is a great personality. He's a lefty bat. Mm-hmm. He's gonna do very well. He's a pinstripe. He's a Yankee.
Yes, absolutely.
Is he Freddie Freeman? No. But is he a cheaper version of Freddie Freeman that's gonna not put us in a cap? Like, great job by the Yanks re-signing him. Mm-hmm. I like that move a lot. That means Voigt's gone.
Yep.
So, but if they could trade Voigt for a pitcher, I don't know how much value Voigt has because of his last season, but we'll see. But great move by the Yanks, a move they needed to do. Again, like, people are like, oh, it's the same old Yanks, but like, people don't understand. Joey Gallo is not going to be as bad as Joey Gallo was last year. He's a good hitter, and he's a great defender. Rizzo, like, they have a chance to be a good team. I just don't know if they could stack up against the Blue Jays.
And Rizzo can't get the Kyrie treatment, otherwise that's going to screw everything up.
Well, I mean, I think that's a lot of guys. I don't think
is he unvaxxed?
Yeah,
I don't think Judge is vaxxed either.
Interesting.
I know he wasn't during the All-Star game.
That's going to be interesting because, like, they do enforce it, obviously.
We'll see what happens. We're not getting into that conversation.
No, I don't want to, but I just hate that
this is not a political. Thanks, Dennis, for trying to spiral to take.
Listen, that's a real thing. It's a real thing.
That's important information.
All right, we'll see.
It's a real thing. Like what have we found out on opening day that Max Scherzer's unvaxxed?
Yeah.
He's just never going to pitch at Citi Field? Like, that would suck.
Yeah, it's true.
What was my other thing? Oh, okay. So this is a big one for me that I thought was just like super interesting. Kris Bryant deal. What are your thoughts on that?
What the fuck? Like, I don't know, man. What is going on? That's just getting the bag. That's
really
Robinson Cano deal with the Mariners. Remember when Robinson Cano signed the Mariners? I was like, what are you doing? Mm-hmm. Oh, I see what you're doing. You're getting $250 million. He's just chasing a bag.
Yep.
And he knows he's going to get traded at some point because, like, they're not going to keep him. I honestly have no idea.
That's really what my assumption is. It's just like, hey, he's just going to get his money and great, and he's going to be the star there and wonderful. They're going to be a terrible team. It's close-ish to where he's from. He's Vegas. So, cool. But from the Rockies' perspective, and that's what kind of pissed me off, honestly, more than, like, Kris Bryant, like, good for you, you're a great player. They had Nolan Arenado for, like, the same money, pretty much.
Yeah.
And they let him go. Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, then also Trevor Story left, and then who's the pitcher that just went? John Gray?
Yeah.
They let him go. Like,
I think it's one of those things, though, where it's like you have to have some reason to sell jerseys and have people to show up.
Sure.
So
at some point, everybody has an Arenado jersey.
Right? Yeah. It's like a last-ditch effort to make some money and, like, shut the fan base up of, like, look, we're trying. Like, at least you did something. Like, it was like it's like, you know, like the come on, do something guy. It's like, come on, do something. Like, at least you did something.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's kind of like a participation trophy.
Right. And then from his perspective, like, yes, he got his money, but he also could have got, like, something close to it and been on, like, a winning team.
Yeah, I don't know. That's probably the most confusing thing of the last couple of years. I don't know why
Is he a Boris guy?
I have no idea.
All right.
I will look it up.
You can look it up. I remember seeing a lot of stuff that his value was like roughly 20 mil a year for like most people, and it's like a little more than that at this deal.
Do you think Kris Bryant's a bust?
Is he a bust?
I don't think lived up to the hype that like
I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say he lived up to the hype, but he is a really good player.
Yeah.
But he's definitely a discount version of Nolan Arenado.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna probably play third base for them.
My dad did not like on the Giants. He was not good for the Giants.
No, he didn't play well at all.
Scott Boras, yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Makes sense.
Get in the bag.
Yep, makes sense. So like, good for him, but yeah, it's a perplexing thing.
Yeah, it's super weird.
Baseball lifestyle, it's my lifestyle.